All right, everyone got coffee? That's good. So let's get started with the third demo day of the Health2B startup accelerator. Welcome. Can we switch to the other projector? Thank you. So a lot of things are happening in digital health. The slides I'm showing you here in the background is from the Mecker Internet Trend Report that was released yesterday. It's 355 slides of internet trends and a full chapter about digital health. I'm just sliding through them quickly so you will get a little taster of what happens. But you all know that digital health is a very exciting area to be in, and I think that this region can be a global hub for e-health. But that will only happen if the startups that you will be seeing here today and startups like them will be successful. So I urge you all to help them as much as possible. They are really the ones who are in the forefront of creating this revolution. I'm gonna, lots of exciting slides. But I'm gonna leave the word now to Ebba Fares to introduce the first startup of this year.
Thank you.
Yes, welcome Ebba.
Thank you, Eric. I am the CEO of Smile Incubator, and we are partners in running Health2B. And our other partners are Lean Forward with Eric and Peter, and the program director who works for us is Stefan Mosberg, who is here. And so actually he should be on stage, but for some reason he declined, and now I'm on stage. Thank you for coming. I know we have hard competition with all the activities going on this week. A lot of pitch events actually, and a lot of other exciting activities, as well as obviously beautiful weather outside, which we don't get in Sweden so often. So I'm very happy that so many are here. What we're going to hear today is 7 pitches, a number of the startups that has been in the third batch of Health2B, and also some of the startups that has been in previous batches of Health2B. So this is the third round we are doing, and what's really interesting is that we are attracting, you will see that, we're attracting companies from all over the world. That's pretty cool. And why do they want to come to Lund, Skåne, and stay at B&B for 3 months? Because that's what they are doing. Because this area with high competence in mobile technology, mobility, connectivity, great competence in user interfaces, companies that might have been sold somewhere, but the people stay. And the competence in these people are interesting for startups to come here. We also have AI, very interesting, that's developing, and good competence in the area. So all of these are reasons why companies actually think it's a good place to start, even if they are from the US or from Greece or other countries. We're kind of a spearhead to Europe sometimes, or we're just a place where they can actually attract a lot of competence and talk to people. And let's not forget, you walk right across the street and you're at the university and you can access other competencies. So I think we're happy to be in this area. And that's why we get these exciting companies coming. So let's listen to them. And the first one is Eatimize. And your business idea is ensure you get the nutrition just your body needs by optimizing your meals. Welcome.
Hi. Oh, sorry, should turn on. Hi, my name is Ludwig, and I'm here to present Eat Mice. And oh. Okay, so we'll start again. Hi, my name is Ludwig. I'm here to present Eat Mice, and this is Eat Mice. There is Frederick on the right, Svante in the middle, and I. And we're 3 engineering students here at LTH. But the story starts much earlier. About 10 years ago, I signed my first football contract, age 15, and I managed to play 1 year professionally before I moved to Lund to study. Now, competing at that level, you soon realize that every aspect matters. And one of these aspects is nutrition. So the question I was asking myself 3 or 4 or 5 times a day was this: what exactly should I eat? Now this is a fairly simple question, but it turns out to be surprisingly hard to answer. Because nutrition advice today is not linked to nutrition data, which leaves it too general and impersonal. So what happens if you try to answer this question? You'll end up like Anders. He's one of the best bodybuilders, young bodybuilders in Sweden, and this is the way he plans his meals. So he sits in Excel, trial and error, and tries to make his macronutrient targets add up. That is carbs, fat, and protein. Now Anders has to limit himself to only 8 different foods, which he eats every day, all year round. That's how hard and stupid this way is. So, after studying engineering for a couple of years, I thought this has to be able to be done in a better way. And to enable to generate customized and personal meal plans, this is what we came up with. It's a web app where you enter your personal details. We run an optimization algorithm through a database of foods with all the nutrition facts, all the nutrition data. We rank the recipes, and then we tell you what and how much to eat. So this is beneficial because you don't have to log what you have eaten after you have eaten, and you don't have to learn about different diets or what are good and bad foods. So where are we now? During our time in the accelerator, we have got our MVP online, and we have built an API that is enabling us to license out our functionality. We have also started collaborations with dietitians, Malmö FF, members in the Swedish national track and field team, bodybuilders and personal trainers, and also other private companies within the health sector. They all believe in our ideas, and they are giving us regular feedback on our product. So where are we going? We are aiming to become the food planning tool for private persons and for dietitians. And we're coming from the left here, from the professional athletes, and we're trying to move across to the fitness freaks, people with medical conditions, and people that want a healthier lifestyle. This is where the big numbers are. 20% of Swedish people work out more than 4 times a week. The people with medical conditions are the ones that are currently getting most of the dietary advice in Sweden. And there's about 1/3 of Swedish adults that are on diet to lose weight. So trying to look at this market that we are trying to disrupt in numbers. Across all sectors, the work dietitians are doing today, and this is just the certified, not the personal trainers, they are doing work for 850 million SEK a year. The international market for nutritionists and dietitians are estimated to be worth $10 billion, 10 billion US dollars, and is annually growing with 5% every year the last 5 years, and is expected to continue to grow in the future, mainly due to increased overweight and diabetes. So in this attractive market, there are some actors. Looking at the old-fashioned tools that dietitians use today, this is the one they use in Sweden, which is basically just an advanced Excel sheet that doesn't give you an advice or help you calculate. Then we have the big food logging apps like MyFitnessPal and LifeSum. They are only based on logging food and try to backtrack what you have eaten. Then there's a US startup called Eat This Much. That's the most similar thing we've found to us. They have 400,000 registered users, proving that there is a market for these meal planning services. So what do we need? We're looking for an investment of 1 million Swedish crowns, which we will use for sales and marketing and software development. Now, that's up there because that's what a software company does. But for us, it would mean that we could get out of school, because we're doing this next to our full-time studies, and if we just get the chance for 6 or 12 months to do this full-time, we're certain that we'll find a proof market here in Sweden. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Itmais and Ebba. So, next up is Kerstin Jakobsson from Medical Village to introduce the next startup. Welcome, Kerstin, on stage.
Thank you. First I will just say most welcome to Medical Village, and also that you have made a priority to come here to this exciting evening, afternoon, and hear all the interesting presentations, because we have some competition if you look outside at the fantastic weather. What is Medical Village? Medical Village is a science park for people's health and well-being. And I would say it's so exciting with the accelerator, because I think this is the future. It's the future when you combine, not traditional life science, but you combine it with ICT. Two areas we are quite successful in this region. So I should not talk more, because we have an interesting company, and the name of the company, I will not say first. So let's see if it's the right company is coming up. It's a Landrite with 3D printed custom insoles for comfort, balance, performance, direct to customers via app-based analysis. Shape brand. Shape brand.
Awesome.
I take it. Sorry.
Hi everyone, I'm Nitin. I'm the co-founder and CEO of ShapePrints. And what we do is we are reinventing custom food products with 3D printing and smartphone. 2 years back, I went to the doctor to get my flat foot treated. And what he told me was, you need to get custom orthotic made. So I went to the workshop where they took foot impression, they put POP on me, and besides this, they did a lot of vacuum pad stuff. And finally, when I came home, they told me, you have to collect your insole made within 2 days or 3 days. So I went back, I tried it, and insole wasn't correct. So then I went back to the doctor, and doctor told me that it happens a lot. And I realized that this whole thing, is way too old, and nothing has been changed. And when I did some research, I found that this is a $4.5 billion market going at 5% every year, and nothing has been changed for 100 years. Especially the Asia Pacific market, which is completely untapped. Then we thought, how about we completely digitize the process? Instead of using all those vacuum pads or POP casts, we take photographs of the foot. Using the photographs, we convert them with the help of computer vision and machine learning into a 3D model. We 3D print it to get a custom insole made. And this is how an insole looks like. This is a customized 3D printed insole, fully customized according to a person's feet. And how we do it is, we take these 3 photographs, one from the back, other from the bottom, and one from the side. We take the pain selection areas where the feet is paining. We ask the patient to upload the prescription of the doctor, Besides this, whatever activity level he has, he is an active runner, or he walks a lot, or he stands a lot. Besides this, for what purpose he requires, say, for diabetic, for plantar fasciitis, heel spur, or flat feet. And besides this, we provide the doctor the complete database, all the design that we have, everything is provided to the doctor. In terms of the product, we validated with the hospital that this is 98%, the algorithm is 98% accurate. 90% of the customers are satisfied, and 20% of the customers just within 3 months order another pair. We have filed 2 patents, and we are doing clinical validation with one of the best hospitals in India. In terms of the market, last month we recorded a revenue of $4,000, and we are growing at 50% month on month. And we are going to break even within 6 months in India. Our sales model is we are selling from the doctors to the patients. And besides this, we have as of now 15 clinical partnerships, 5 in Sweden and 10 are in India. And we are going to grow in this area, especially Sweden and Copenhagen, along with India. These are our competitors, Fits, Feeds, and Viv. Out of which, Viv is the one which has got maximum funding of about $12 million. The difference that we have is we have taken the complete medical route. We are doing with a lot of doctors, and besides this, we are doing it with the help of complete medical proof and medical validation. So while Viv is selling directly to consumer, we are selling from the doctors, and besides this, taking doctors' help as well to continuously improve the product, and we're getting more and more data for machine learning. How we are growing? So the interesting thing is that once we get the data, we can sell anything from the data. So what is happening is that a lot of patients, who got our insole, they started asking us that whether we can get a sandal or a footwear. And we did this experiment in India. A lot of females who had, basically got insole from us, they wanted a customized sandal as well. So we put our insole on the sandals and we sold them. So from one data that we get, the patient doesn't need to come anywhere again and again. From that data, we can sell any kind of footwear. And that is just one thing. What we want to do is we want to disrupt any space where mass customization is required. And right now it requires human effort, such as hearing aids or eyewear or prosthetics. Right now, my team consists of these people. I am the hustler kind of person who has worked in a lot of startups. Besides this, I have a solid software developer. We have a good sales guy who has got 5 years of experience. Besides this, we have a mechanical guy. And these are 2 of our investors who we have raised as of now $170,000 from them. Both of them have sold one company in Silicon Valley. They are medtech investors, and one of them is in right now US and one is in India. What we are looking for? We are looking to raise about $1 million to scale up in India, and besides this have a global footprint in Sweden, Denmark, and besides this US. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Chef Crunch and Kerstin. So, our third startup will be introduced by Maja Larsson from Health2B Nordic. Welcome up on stage.
Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. So, hi, nice to see you all. Health2B Nordic is actually a collaboration with these guys, Smile and the others, and Cobis in Denmark, Oslo Medtech in Norway, Sahlgrenska Science Park, and a number of other associated partners throughout the Nordics, to actually make the Nordics the leading country, the leading region on the earth when it comes to health tech, or the paradigm shift in this world of health tech. And so the goal with this project is at least 700 new jobs right here, right now, or within 3 years. But in the long term, in the long run, at least 1% of the market. And that would be 10,000 jobs. And we need more jobs and more taxpayer incomes here. Anyway, what we actually do is that we provide fast tracks for startups like yourselves. Please register. And we will get you fast tracks to the Nordic market, to Nordic test beds, and to international markets as well. That's what we try to do jointly. That's from me. Now I'm going to introduce, and I'm going to say the name, Lifelong Data. It's a customer-focused system for lifelong storage of real-time biometric data that can be shared with doctors for health, beneficial, preventive care. Lifelong, I guess. Please, welcome up on stage.
Hello everyone, my name is Hans Nilsson and I work with collecting real-time data, and there's lots of good solutions out there. The problem today is reaching that data because it's spread all over the cloud or databases, and we found a solution for that. So the why journey. A couple of years ago I had the privilege of living in sunny California. I was training more than I usually do, running, but after a while I could not get what I wanted out of that. And by chance visiting a pharmacy, I found out that maybe I had high blood pressure. And sure enough, coming back to Sweden, basically after a year I could figure out that, okay, that was the problem for me. And I had, let's say, a year of not optimal health. Shortly before that, my father had problems with his eating habits, and he had a little bit of back pain. Nothing to worry about, but once we checked, turned out to be prostatic cancer, and it was terminal. And what we wanted to do is, what if we could find out earlier? There might be a possibility to do something. And that's why I'm here today, to see how we can do that. How would that work? Well, there's lots of good IoT devices out there. They'll measure all kinds of things. The challenge is, either you cannot reach the data, or you can, but it's difficult to use. What we've done is created a real-time database which is personal, so each one of you would have one. Only you can get to it, it's secure, and it's there for life. So what you do is you store data, you can look in it, you can get indicators saying, okay, you're doing as normal, or something is changing. But the big benefit here, of course, is to collaborate with either a friend or a health professional, and that can also be different app suppliers for sure, and making that a feedback loop so I can take corrective action early on before I visit a hospital. So the focus for us, well, there's different types of people. There's healthy people, there's sick people. We're focusing on healthy people. What we supply is a possibility to catch states that are unwanted before. So there's a possible preventive catch. That means that you're going to be less sick, hopefully, and that you're going to use the healthcare system a little less, which is also very good for the healthcare system, of course. The market for this is big. If you look in Sweden, investigations done by lots of people say that most of us are interested in storing our biometric data. Our investigation asking these people that say, yes, it's interesting, 30 to 40% say, yeah, they could pay as a service for this. And that's where we're starting. And there is a big community of people that already store data today. So we've started collecting data from these kinds of people, also intermixed with doctors to get their feedback. We think this is a new paradigm, and we think we're first with this. So this is really patient, individual-centered data storage that I can do something with. And there is a big interest in the market. If we look outside in the academic and clinical world, for example, Snyder Labs at Stanford University, they've been doing this for years. But of course, they do it internally, research purposes. The people that they store the data for don't use it today. But hopefully that will result in algorithms and KPIs that can be used by everybody to see when something's happening. In the sports world, they're also trying to sort out, well, if I have many different IO devices like a smartwatch, can I store all of that in one place? And Strava already accumulated 20 million in money to continue their business model. So these ideas are out there. There's a big market and people want these things. Why now? Well, the healthcare system, as you know, is ready to be disrupted. But to do that, you need new processes. And to have those processes, you need a new infrastructure. I'm the founder, Hans Nilsson. I've been working in industry for 15 years doing the exact same thing. but just not for human beings. And that's what we want to do now. We want to bring this into the healthcare sector. I bring with me a strong backbone collaboration with a software provider from that sector. And what we're looking at now is to recruit co-funders that can help me work on the front end and also in the sales cycle. We got a plan of 6-month sprints, basically building it up in the first 6 months with a clinical trial, and then from there going out and offering this to people, ordinary people. So what we're looking for are healthcare professionals that would like to pilot this. We're also looking for investors that are interested in preventive health and that would like to discuss the prerequisite investment with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lifelong Data and Marianne Larsson. Next up, Annette Malento-Berg from the Angel Investment Network Connect Sweden. Welcome.
Hi everybody, I'm Annette, Head of Growth Capital at Connect Region Syd, and we are a non-profit organization connecting people. We connect entrepreneurs who are seeking external funding with our business angel network of about 150 business angels. And by this, we create a possibility for growth for the region, for our partners, and of course for the investors and the entrepreneurs. And I have the pleasure to present Meadow, working with innovative healthcare products that bring joy, efficiency, and comfort to the market by using color and design. Got it.
Hi, my name is Frida and I'm from Meadow. Meadow's vision is to make innovative healthcare products that bring joy, efficiency and comfort by using design and color. Hospitals have a certain feel. The complex machines and a colorless environment makes you feel ill at ease. And therefore, we will offer simple and colorful solutions to the small problems with big impact. Today, Meadow is me, Frida McCabe, and Lynn Fragmark. We founded Meadow while studying mechanical engineering with industrial design at LTH here in Lund. And we came up with our first product concept in a course where Gambro told us about different dialysis treatment problems. Poor fixation of tubes and needles is a huge but unaddressed problem. Today they use a lot of tape to fasten the needles, but also to fasten the tubes. This solution is decades old and it does not give adequate fixation. Needles come out all the time. An unreliable fixation is not the only problem with the tape. A lot of patients get irritated skin and some even get allergic reactions. The scale of this problem is massive. Today, 2.5 million people have to go through dialysis treatment for several hours, 3 times every week. And that is just dialysis. Further investigation showed that they had the same problem with all intravenous treatments. And since 60 to 90% out of all hospitalized patients get some form of IV therapy, it adds up to about 1 billion treatments a year. So this is something that nurses work with a lot. And they can actually spend several hours a week on just replacing needles that have come loose with new needles. This problem needs a better solution. The perfect solution is our IV bracelet, an easy-to-use and reusable bracelet to which you can attach the tubes to keep them and the needle in place during all kinds of IV treatments. Our research has showed that a nurse can save 2 whole hours a week by using IV bracelet. The bracelet is a so-called slap-on bracelet that a nurse can put onto the patient in no time and it adapts to the patient's wrist size. It will also be available in many different bright colors, since it has been proven that colors have a positive effect on people. So, if you summarize the advantages with IV bracelet, you can see that it brings joy, efficiency, and comfort, just as products from Meadow should. Joy comes with a colorful design, efficiency, since the nurse can save hours a week, and comfort because the patient now can move his or her arm without causing discomfort or complications. Also, the bracelet will be made out of non-allergenic silicone, so no more allergic reactions.
So, is IV bracelet really as good as it sounds? Yes. We performed a user test at a dialysis and an orthopedic unit, and after 2 weeks of using the bracelet, 87% of the participants preferred to use IV bracelet instead of existing solutions. The nurses felt that the bracelet was easy to use and contributed to a safer healthcare, while the patients felt more free to move during treatment. So after this excellent result, the word has spread, and we now have 17 units at 9 different hospitals that want to try our bracelets. And for this broad user test, we had lots of different kinds of units participating. And this shows how broad the market for IV bracelet really is. Now we're looking for companies who we want to give the opportunity to collaborate with us and put IV bracelets, along with upcoming products from Meadow, on the market. And not just in Sweden, but in the whole world. And make no mistake, this is a big opportunity. We have at least 1 billion IV treatments a year in the world, at 200 SEK per bracelet and 100 uses per bracelet. IV bracelet presents 1 billion SEK opportunity. If Lund University Hospital used our bracelet, they would save 2 hours a week per nurse. 500 nurses using IV bracelet during 50 weeks would then save 50,000 hours. This is big. So, we see opportunities everywhere, and we want to continue to develop simple and colorful solutions to small healthcare problems with big impact. We aim for our products to be a must-have in all hospitals, and not just in Sweden, but wherever they are needed in the world. We want Meadow to have a global market so that everyone can join our journey towards a better future within healthcare. Thank you.
Thank you, Meadow. Yes, startup number 5 will be introduced by Carl Philip Barakat from Region Skåne. Welcome on stage.
Thank you. Thank you, Eric. I'm glad to be here, and thanks for 4 great pitches, and now we're going for the 5th company. My name is Carl Philip Barakat, and I'm working at Region Skåne with regional development. And I'm also responsible for the incubator strategy in the region, so I love incubators and accelerators, of course. And I'm also a proud board member of the SMILE incubator. Finally, from my perspective, I'm also the guy that are project manager for Skåne Innovation Week, so I'm responsible for all the competition during the week. We have 142 events in Skåne this week, from Monday to Friday, and it's quite interesting to have 220 organizations taking part in the week. We're so happy and glad for that we can show the world that Skåne is 2020 will be the most innovative region in Europe. The 5th company, in the driver's seat of my chronic disease. Welcome up on stage, HyperDoc.
See how we're doing? Do we have a thing? Oh, there we go. Should be on. No? Ah, there we go. Some technical help. Solved everything. Hey all, my name is Anders. I'm with HyperDoc, and we are all about chronic disease. And of course, there are a few of those. So we're not targeting every single chronic disease, as of yet anyway. Right now, we're looking into high blood pressure, or hypertension as it's known. And that's actually quite the big problem. In Sweden alone, there are 30,000 strokes and infarctions, with the main cause being hypertension every single year. And that's not real nice. And I'm actually, for myself personally, I'm in this for my wife, to be honest. She has hypertension, and I don't want her to land there. So, how do we try and solve this? Well, I have a background in digital healthcare, a company called My Doctor. Some of you might know it. So our idea is to combine healthcare and technology. And to do that, we're actually registered as a healthcare provider. So a vårdcentral, I don't know the English word, primary care unit or something. So that gives us a set of rules, but also opens up some nice possibilities for us. So we can actually give you doctors help for real. So our vision for this is actually to come down to zero. There's a zero vision in Sweden for traffic. I'm sure you all know it. Maybe the non-Swedes don't know it. But the idea is to have zero accidents in traffic. And I want to have 0 strokes and infarctions due to high blood pressure. And it's actually shown in studies that by lowering your blood pressure, you significantly reduce the risk. So, how do we do this? Well, first off, we find the market. And is it big? Like my friends here said, well, yeah, it's like huge. Just in Sweden, there are 2 million people suffering from this. Half of them don't even know that they have it. It's an invisible disease. My wife is, the same beautiful woman that she was before and now. So you walk around and you don't even know it. And if you look globally, it's up towards the billions. And in total, it accounts for not just hypertension, but all the chronic diseases. That's 85% of healthcare spend in the world. So we're talking trillions. So moving on from that, considering market is big, good, we try and combine some various things that we have out there. One is this, of course. Everybody has an app these days. But this is an app where you can actually get in touch with your doctor. And that's crucial to us. And you get your feedback all the time, because that's one of the reasons that you don't really do something about your hypertension. You don't know. Am I sick? No, I feel good. But the blood pressure is somewhere up here. And next, we measure. And that's the second reason, it's the same as the first actually. So I'll come to the second reason in just a bit. We give you this, or something like it, to measure your blood pressure. And we actually let you know when to do it, so you don't forget. So you know, oh, it's actually really high, I have to do something. And the second reason is actually that you forget to take your medication, because you feel okay. And did I take it? Well, I don't know, I can't remember. So we help you with that. And finally, you have your doctors. So we actually employ doctors. And they're on the other side of this. And you can chat with them and ask them questions. How am I doing? Am I doing okay? Can you help me? Can you prescribe me some new medication? I have a bad tummy ache because of the new medication. So they help you with that. And also, they keep track of you. Because you measure, you answer questions and everything. And they can say, oh, right, this is going well, or it's not going so well, so I'll intervene here and say, Anders, you have an issue. Let's do something. Before you even think about it. And finally, all of this data, we can crunch that and make the whole thing even better over time. Now, this is our prototype. Basically, it's your own personal doctor. Everybody gets their own. This is a chronic disease. Is there all the time. So we give you your own doctor. Also, since we're a caregiver, we provide the full medical profile with medical history, and we also send you away to take some tests, so blood tests. Maybe we can use that thing that you had. We give you your own individual care plan, and all packaged securely behind bank ID or other identification mechanisms. So right now, this is what we're doing, and our aim is, of course, to have people live their lives without having to worry about landing in hospital, so they can go out and play with kids or play ball, as it were. So, we are looking now to raise between 3 and 5 million to bring this ship to market. It's actually a bit of an undertaking, since we have a bit of legislation to follow. So we're building the minimum viable product, getting it to market, recruiting some key people, and also do some initial marketing. So that's what we're looking for. We have a team, myself, I'm the CEO and founder. I have a history, like I said, from digital healthcare. And we also have a lead backend guy, CTO. He's working as we speak. And currently we're looking for filling some positions of chief medical officer, a doctor, preferably several, and also lead for front-end building the app. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Anders from Hyperdoc. Yes, I will actually introduce myself for the next startup. My name is Eric Stark. I'm a partner of Lean Forward. We call ourselves a digital business agency. We help companies, large and small, with innovation and growth. For example, the startups in the accelerator, we've been coaching them, and we've been designing the accelerator program. I'm going to introduce startup number 6, right? I'm losing count here. It's the text here says, streamlines clinical care and the patient's own health management. And the name of the startup is Checkup. Welcome on stage.
Thank you. My name is Johan, and I'm one of the co-founders of Checkup. What we are doing are virtual care rooms, and it's a platform for managing your chronic conditions. Here we're taking 2 of the most common chronic conditions, is hypertension or high blood pressure, and blood coagulant if you eat warfarin, blood thinners. And as you can see, at the average healthcare station in Sweden, a nurse spends 40 hours on each of those 2 conditions of just taking tests on patients. It's 80 hours per week, per month in a normal healthcare. This is just 2 of the conditions that we're managing in this platform. And we are up in 10, 12, 15 as we speak right now. And the conclusion is that healthcare costs money. Everyone has said it on the stage so far. The thing is, we can automate these procedures. And the time that are wasted by the healthcare of managing these conditions is astronomical, it's enormous. It costs so much money. And if you see from the patient side, when you have a chronic condition, your life evolves around it. You need to book your times at the healthcare center. You need to always think about, how should I get there? Is it bus, is it train, can I take the car? Are you gonna wait long at the healthcare station? When you finally come in and do your measurement, you spend 1 hour, 2 hours. And that's me as a patient. We have not even talked about the spending of the healthcare professionals yet. You see your doctor, and the doctor says, yeah, we need to do some tests. And then they send you to the lab, and then you need to wait again outside the lab to get your time in, and then they take your blood pressure, or they take a prick in the finger to get some 50 liters of blood for you to do an INR test or something like that. And then you go home, and then you need to wait for the results 1 week, 2 weeks. What we have done is automated all this, so you get your result directly. We don't send around people. Today we send around people and blood tests for 370 million kronor per year in Sweden. If we automate this, and we have done it, we have done 140,000 measurements collected so far for more than 12,000 patients during the last 3 years. So it's working. And the solution is very mobile, it's very small. You can install it everywhere. We have installed it at patients' homes, we have installed it at public places like a school or a municipality building if it's a long ride in the rural areas of Sweden to the healthcare center. Or in rural areas, city areas, install it in the care center. So when you go to the doctor, you do your test yourself, and then you go in and see the doctor. And then you have saved all the other time waiting. And for the doctor, the results are all on the screen. We call them virtual care rooms before they are virtual. You can install them everywhere. And if you look at the advantages of this, I mean, it's automated like I told you. You do it yourself. The patient doing most of the testing, just like we do when we pay our bills online. We go to ICA and scan our groceries. It's very easy to do this. It's point and click. It's a sustainable. Instead of shipping patients or blood samples around in cars or buses, we send the actual measurement value by internet. And it's time saving, both for the patient and for the healthcare professional. If you look at the product itself, it's mobile, it's a web platform, it's cross-platform, works on iPhone, Android, everything. It's very simple, you point and click, you do your stuff, you get your instruction by the screen directly how you should do your tests, just to minimize everything. And it's very secure. We are CE marked as a medical product. My team is me, Johan. I've been doing wireless communication for the last 10 years. We have Arne, our CEO, has been the CEO of a company called Explicit for 10 years. Before this, a company with 125 employees. And we have Maria that comes from the private healthcare sector, Praktikertjänst, where she was a sales person. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Johan. Our last startup, number 7, actually they were in our first batch, and I remember the CEO was he couldn't pitch that time because he was performing surgery on a patient, and I think he prioritized that over pitching, and it seemed to have happened again. At BinMed, you will actually have to meet some other time, maybe our next demo day, they will be here. With that, we wrap this day up, and I would like to invite the 4 startups from our latest batch up on stage to get some diplomas and some flowers, right? And then Stefan, of course, who has been the accelerator manager. So give them all a hand. So. Welcome. So some imaginary background music. So here we have the flowers, and